Hi everyone, good morning to you. Okay, today my topic is going to be working in overseas, like countries like Korea, Brunei, Philippines, China, Japan, Australia, Indonesia, and lastly, Singapore. Okay, these are the countries that I've been working before. Okay, the differences and on the working and the culture is in Korea, they are very hardworking. Okay, they can work until there's overnight there and the next morning. Okay, the culture of Korea. Of course, normally they will after the working hours, right? They'll go back and they will have drinks with their colleagues, mingle around with their colleagues, and they conduct very good training, and they really spend a lot on the entertainment, good meals, after a hard long work. Okay, and they are very cooperative. For Brunei side, okay, the experiences is like when it comes to Brunei, okay, it's all about slow country. Everything will be quite slow, especially when it comes to Puasa month and also on Raya month. So if you want to be on time, on schedule on your work, okay, let's say you're doing projects to up some telecommunication sites, so I advise you to pre-plan ahead to be on time schedule. Means that you have to schedule the work to be completed earlier for a few sites to cover up those 2 months that basically you can't do much things. Only you can just expect a very light work of a contractor that they will just come and do some very minor like repairing or fixing the cables, that kind of things. Those heavy workload, I think they will not be able to complete it because of they are on puasa, means they are fasting. So it's basic. So it's naturally that their energy is not there, because there's not enough food. They have been fasting and the hard labor. Okay, so you have to schedule the work to be done like these 2 months on the light work. And the best part was during the Raya is after the fasting month, right? They celebrate the celebration of the fasting, Hari Raya Puasa. Okay, the king of Brunei will, do an open house, and it's really nice. They gave a lot of nice food like prawn, mutton, and a lot of beef and seafood as well. You'll be surprised. The food is really good. And on top of that, they'll give you a gift of big cakes. It's so big, fruit cakes given to everyone. And also, I mean, that's the desserts that they give when you attend their, open house in Brunei. Okay, as for Philippines, well, the workers are hardworking and they understand good English. Koreans, they do, but those like the young generations compared to the older generations. Okay, as for Philippines, basically, as you can know, they are very fluent in English and they are very creative. They are very hardworking. They are very cooperative and they are very knowledgeable. They are willing to share their knowledge. This is what I understand, and they are very warm welcome. They will bring you to nice places to eat, same as other countries as well. They do that. They promote their countries of their traditional food, their traditional way of doing craftsman, and mostly on the local foods. Okay, and like the adobo chicken, and also on the balut. I've tried in Philippines once, and of course, eating those fried crickets, insects. I've tried even. Okay, the taste is actually not bad. There's no like bad smell or whatever, but insects still an insects, right? And well, it's crunchy though. Uh, So as for China, China, the part that I've been is only, I would say, Shenzhen. I've crossed over Hong Kong, taking a car. I reach Hong Kong. I fly to Hong Kong. I reach and travel by car to China. It's about almost 1 hour fast drive at the highway. When I passed by Hong Kong, I didn't go into Hong Kong. I didn't stop by Hong Kong. I just passed through Hong Kong to go to China, Shenzhen. And I can tell you in Hong Kong, okay, the building, okay, is not, if it's not 100, 100 and above, it's not Hong Kong, the building 100 and above. It's really, really tall up. We will see. It's really scary. I honestly tell you, that it's so compact and it's so small, And I heard that the Hong Kong food is really nice. If you have chance to go, or if I've given a chance, I actually would drop by Hong Kong to try their food, their local delicacies. It's really nice. I heard that, especially their dim sum, their specialties and all the local Chinese food. Okay, as for China, Shenzhen, well, they are famous of the mala food. Okay, but it's not my type of taste because it's like really, really spicy and really, really oily. But there's no, like, you don't feel any saltiness or sweetness, in that soup. It's just purely spicy and oil. That's all. Okay. And for others, I mean, probably maybe because I'm so Malaysian, so use of Malaysian food, with the spiciness, with the correct spiciness, with the correct of saltiness, with the correct of sweetness. Probably our taste bud is a bit different. And Malaysian food, I would say, is a little bit more healthy because it's not so oily in this aspect. And as for China, you can get all kinds of technology in a very cheap price. Well, you'll be surprised that I went into Taobao, even I'm in China, but I was there about 2 weeks for training. So they have invited a lot of those European countries, like from Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine. Okay, those Europes, and also some US countries that came to China for that training. So the thing is that the technology that I went and bought, okay, I didn't really go to the place, but I accompanied a friend of mine from Nepal, to the biggest electronic shops in Shenzhen. And they sold the battery, the power bank, okay, that charge, power bank. It's not battery, sorry, it's power bank, whereby we bought at 10 for only 10,000 kPa, and the power bank is really lasting till today. It's already almost like 6-7 years already. I've been using it, and I can charge that 4 times for my handphone, and it's really, really good. It's not like we buy currently, even 10,000 kilo kW, kPa, but you can only use that twice for your handphone. But that one that I buy from, we bought from the China side one, is really good, long lasting. And I bought online from Taobao. It was pretty fast. Within 7 to 8 days, I received the item. I bought a action camera. Okay, Xiaomi. Okay, Xiaomi. 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 Okay, it's a Xiaomi action camera. And I bought at only about 230 ringgit. Rather than you go to Lazada and you can see there's about 400 to 500 ringgit they are selling, so that's why I find that purchasing in Taobao, of course, if you know Chinese, is the best way to purchase your items from Taobao. Okay, next comes to Japan. Okay, for Japan, the food is mostly on carbohydrate during the cold time. So they are very hardworking. During the working time, they will work very hard, and they work normally 12 hours. And after the 12 hours, they will go to to drink. That's their culture. They will hang out with their bosses, and their colleagues, drinking almost every day after the work, and they'll just go back. So roughly, they'll be outside from their house maybe about uh, 12 to 16 hours, and then only they'll go back and just to sleep. So that's how Japanese culture is, and their Japanese drink is really, especially their liquor, okay, is really, really, really burning. It's smooth, but it's burning. Okay, and the Japanese food, well, in Japan, it's totally different compared in Malaysia taste. They have already blended. Actually, Malaysia Japanese restaurant, most of the food is already blended to Asian Malaysian taste, but in actual, when you in Japan, the food is totally different. It's not like exactly like Malaysia style, and yeah, what I like most is their rice. Their rice, the curry is really nice. The curry is the sweet type. It's not like in Malaysia curry that is salty. The salty type. Here, unfortunately, they don't have much of Japanese curry type. But if you have a chance to go to Japan, please go try the curry. There is really, really fantastic. And of course, there is a heaven for all those figures, cartoon figures that you can actually purchase there. And it's also actually is considered as limited edition they have there, and of course it's not so expensive because you buy there and you bring back rather than you just it's been imported into Malaysia and purchase it from the shops, right? So if you are the figure type for the Japanese cartoons and everything, I think Japan is a country that you should go and purchase those items as well. Okay, and as for when it comes to, I think, the springtime, especially the sakura time, it blossoms and you can see the whole way through. It's really, really nice. And with some that the spring is beginning of spring, that's not so hot, right? So you can feel the chilling of the air blowing. Though it's not that hot, still it's a -4 degrees. At that time it's when the beginning of winter and spring at that time in between. So you will enjoy if you like cold weather, but of course, like my skin, the dry type, it doesn't suit me because my skin will get cracked. But if those that have a oily type skin in Malaysia, your skin will be able to last for the weather, especially during the near end winter and going to the springtime weather. That your skin will be like my skin, so dry instead of oily. Okay, and you won't sweat. You won't sweat at all because it's really, really cool. And to tell you the truth, there you need hot water to bath. Sometimes you will just don't want to bath at all because it's really, really cold and you just come out, right? So this is what I would say in Japan life. And of course, you can see the machines, all is machines. You'll be surprised. You're ordering, you just order from the machine and they will just process it, and all the payments go through the machines, and the people will just take the ordering from the machines that it will go through electronically to their tablets. Okay, and then they will just cook it, and then they will just serve you. So this is what it is. I would say that during in Japan, chicken will be a very expensive one compared to fishes. And if you got a chance to go to the fish market in Japan, and also on the biggest crossing on the angle, is good for you to go there and just explore. It's really, really fun. So I would say that these are the Japan place that you want to explore more if you're in Japan. Okay. As for Australia, it's fantastic. Okay. The first time when I step in Australia, it's like I'm feeling, oh, I wish this is my home place, because the weather there is not too hot. At that time I went there, it's like during the springtime. So you will tend to see a lot of those nowadays the people there, mostly you can see is actually Chinese. A lot of China's people migrated to Australia, and also you can see that the culture there, when the drivers there is really really they really respect the pedestrian. In fact, they will stop, at a far distance when they see that there's a pedestrian walking. They will just, from far, they'll slow down the car. Or even the traffic light, when it's already turning yellow, they have already slowed down. Not like in Malaysia, okay? When you see yellow, you will just press on the petrol and just drive through all the way just to go through that, okay? It's different, yeah? It's totally different, okay? And or they will just push more, accelerate in Malaysia. Okay, Australia they don't. They see when from green to yellow, or to, I would say, orange, they will just slow down already, and I would say that they're actually near to stop. Okay, so the food is fantastic. Actually, I put on weight within a week. I can put on weight about 2 to 3 kilos. You can imagine that, because the food there, they eat a lot of meats, a lot of cheese, and a lot of wines. Oh, the wine in Australia there is fantastic. They have the sweet type of wine, which is they don't export out. They only sell it locally. So if you have a chance to go Australia, please go visit the vineyard there. The vineyard there is really, really huge. And the wine is really, really fantastic. The last I went was almost like maybe 10, 12 years ago. So the wine is about this height, okay, about this height. Uh, about this height, slim, slender, okay. It's 150 Aussie dollars at that point. So if got a chance, please purchase it. But right now, I don't know whether the price has increased or not. It's already 12 years ago, right? So I suggest you to buy it. It's really, really sweet when you taste it. So we went there. There were like 7 to 10 types of wine for you to taste, and also you went for the honey. You'll be surprised. They have this honey that is for diabetes to take. You'll be surprised. That was like 12, 13 years ago. They have diabetes honey. Those diabetic patients, you can take the honey. It's purely for the diabetic patients to take that honey. Okay, and well, that's about Australia. And then the workplace. Okay, they are very cooperative. They are not like you have to, like in Asia, you have to knock and move, knock and move. No, they don't. They know their job scope, in fact, and they are very properly segregated. Like their company is properly structured. It's not like okay, you have a gap or there's a gray area. No, all is really properly defined in Australia, the job scope and everything. So of course, to find a contractor there, of course, is a bit difficult, because they are the most of them are quite highly educated. So to find a contractor locally there at that locations that I've been working with is a bit difficult. But though they are really, really deliver what they promise, and the quality that they give is really, really there. It's not like they will push out the deadline or whatever. No, they fulfill the deadline that was given. In fact, they can actually complete earlier than the deadline given. Unlike like in Brunei, or in Philippines. Okay, Philippines, yeah, they might be slight due to deep weather, sometimes. Okay, Brunei is totally out. You have to really push a bit harder. It's almost similar like in Malaysia. Okay, And just to let you know, Bruneians, they prefer to work in the government compared to private sector. All right. Okay. Comes to Indonesia. Indonesia, you'll be surprised that they are actually very well versed in English, and they can understand our bahasa. But I mean, I'm quite lucky whereby I liaise with people that can understand English very well. Okay. Uh, there's no language barrier there in Indonesia, and they have a very nice their kueh, they call it kueh. Okay, their desserts are really really nice, and also the food there, the barbecue there, you know, the food there, the pork ribs there is really really fantastic. You see, so I mean their cooking style is more on Malay style, but it's really really fantastic. And you'll be surprised that actually in Indonesia, the Indonesians, sorry to say, the Muslims, they actually do eat at the shops that, you know, that's non-halal as well. You know, you'll be surprised. They can, but of course they don't eat the food or pork. But there are people, Indonesians, that do eat pork, even their religion are, you know, I would say different. Okay, so this is how different the culture is in Indonesia. Okay, and of course they don't like very strict on the, you know, prostitution like in Malaysia. It's totally different. They just I mean they don't says that okay, like find that prostitution is illegal. They don't actually. So these are the differences that you can find in Indonesia, in fact. And for Singapore, okay, Singapore is a fast-paced country. Everything is fast. Okay. The culture is not that good even. Actually, those Singaporeans will always look down on other countries. They will always find that they are more superior than others, which is all the 5 KS, Kiasi, Kiasu, all the KS lah. Okay. So I am a person who don't believe that, you know, when I hear it in the first place. But when after I've been there, working there, working there for year plus, you know, staying there, I can tell you Singaporean, I mean, their pressure is a bit higher. You can actually find that there's a lot of people that is mentally not healthy, higher than other countries. You'll be surprised. And also, they are very selfish. They take care of themselves. Okay, they always they're not as friendly as us in Malaysia. In fact, actually, there are a lot. You'll be surprised that there are lots of Malaysians there, and then they become a Singaporean. Actually, they are Malaysians. They used to be Malaysians, and they have adapted that kind of culture and environment that is unfriendliness, very self-centered way of doing things. You know, don't want to lose to people. Must be always better than others. Thinking that they're better. You know, keep on pushing themselves. Keep on competing with each other. You know, not sharing knowledge. You know, that kind of things. Whereby I think it's not a right place for people that, you know, who wants to raise their children there. But of course, I don't deny the education there is really really good. It's like 2 times higher than us. You see, their Sec 3. Sec 3 means they call it as Form 3 in here in Malaysia. Okay, when they are in Form 3, their syllabus is like our Form 5. How I know? Because I become a tutor, part-time tutor there in Singapore. So, and in fact, you can actually survive by becoming a tutor there. You'll be surprised you'll be paid like easily 600 Sing dollar in a month just for one student only, you know. You can earn that, and you can pay for your rental. And if you take more than one student, in fact, okay, you can actually you can make a living there. Really, really good in academic wise. They will invest in education for the Singaporeans. They definitely invest for the kids on education. So you can make good business there if you are in Singapore. And the food there in Singapore is just so. It's not like super good or whatever. But you can find SG is if comes to a dollar, Singapore money is definitely cheaper than in Malaysia without conversion. Okay, you don't convert. If you say a dollar and a dollar, of course Singapore dollar is better because their buying power is higher. Okay, how you see you can find a chicken rice in Singapore at $2 or 2.50. Okay, or the most is $3. Can you find a food at 3 ringgit in Malaysia? I don't think so. Maybe yeah, nasi lemak now also around 2.50 with just a little bit of anchovies, maybe quarter of the egg, you know, and also some peanut and the sambal. That's it, and it's a small portion. But in Singapore, chicken rice with chicken, roasted chicken, okay, you can get it at 2.50 as well. Okay, some places maybe $2. I don't know right now. Do they have $2 or I think maybe no more or now maybe up to 2.50. The last 5 years ago when I was in Singapore, it's 2.50, and they still have $2. But 10 years ago in Singapore, I can tell you, you can get a good meal at two Sing dollar. Honestly speaking. So this is how the buying power in Singapore. Of course, it's good because the public transport is everywhere. You can just link with each other, and it's very small. In fact, but of course, for me, I don't like it because it's nothing much in Singapore for me. I'm so used to have my own car, travel around. You see, if you're the type that use the public transport, then Singapore is a good place for you. In fact. Okay, as for Papua New Guinea, as you know, it's a no man's land. Okay, so today you can be a friend, tomorrow they can be your enemy. So advise those of you that cannot be patient with people, very impatient, very hot-headed kind of people. Please don't go to Papua New Guinea to work because you cannot. How would I say, cannot argue with them or make them angry because they have, it's legal for them to take a pistol or, any weapons. It's legal there. So, and also they have language barriers, okay? Those that are poor countryside, okay? There are language barriers there. And of course, one thing good is Papua New Guinea, they have very fresh air, less transportations, less pollution. And I want to highlight to you, the coffee there is really, really good. You'll be surprised. The local coffee there is really, really nice. And the food there is actually a bit special, like unlike in any other countries that you can find, okay? And also, you'll be surprised that they eat a lot of insects there. So yeah, that's about Papua New Guinea. I was there like very short time, a week or two there, just to do some setup. Then I just came back because I find it there is a bit dangerous and it's not so comfortable to stay there even. Okay. All right. I hope that this video today has give you a little bit insight about some countries that I've been working in, and hope that you enjoy it. Okay. Have a nice day.